Hey Joel, you got your hair cut.
You can notice that I don't have much hair left. You can see that it got cut.
Yeah, why didn't you grow it out?
Actually, you can't notice right now because it's cut so short, but my hair is curly. So if I let it, and I'm bald on top now. So if I grow it out, I look like Bozo the clown.
Did you have long hair before?
Actually, in college, I had long hair. I grew it out pretty long, and then my hair is really blonde. I don't know if you can tell now. It's gotten a little bit darker, but it was down to my shoulders and really curly.
Wow.
Yeah.
When did you start losing it?
I noticed sort of at the end of college when I had long hair because it didn't grow nearly as long in the front. I always wanted it to be really even long in the front and back, but it grew much faster and much thicker in the back than in the front.
So, when it's all gone, are you going to start combing it all over?
No, I don't want to have the comb over. I actually my wife likes bald heads, so I'm lucky. So I just cut it really short. It's funny though, when I was really young, well, when I was born, I was bald till I was maybe 1 year old or so,
Wow,
and
that's
then I
quite late.
had very thin, white, straight hair. So it was perfectly straight until I was about 13 years old, and as soon as I hit puberty, my hair suddenly got curly. So as a self-conscious young adolescent, that was a bit of a shocking experience for my hair to go from straight to curly
Yeah,
almost
that's a big
overnight.
change.
Yeah. Hey Tom, when you were in Thailand, did you were you good at bargaining? You know how you have to haggle to get the price lower?
Once I got started, it was okay, but getting started was so difficult.
What do you mean?
I just knew it when I walked up to a market stall that I'd pick up something, and if it was something I wanted, to get it, I'd have to start fighting. I'd have to get through this argument, it felt like.
Uh-huh.
And I was really uncomfortable about doing that.
That's the problem with me too. I was always too nice. It's like, I'd give them one price and then they would never go for the price that I asked for. So if the price was 100 and I said, okay, 50, then they would say, well, okay, 95. And I usually wouldn't take it much further than that.
Oh, no, that's complete. I'm completely different. If I started,
Uh-huh.
it would be because I had something that I really wanted,
Okay.
and I'd already have an idea of the price. So once I started that whole deal,
Right.
it could take quite a long time. We'd chat. It's a very friendly way of doing it in Thailand. We'd talk about the price. I'd do a lot of smiling. I'd pick up some other things that were similar, and I'd really go for it and take a long time.
I heard that the trick to it is you really need to tell them a whole story. Like you can't just say, "Oh, I want the price lower." You have to say like, "Oh, well, I don't have any money and I really need to get this for my family and this is the last time I'm going to be here. I've run out of money. Can you give me a deal on it?" You can't just tell them you want a lower price. You have to give them a good reason and you have to have a dramatic story to go along with it.
I've done that in the past. I've emptied out my wallet and I've said, "This is for my lunch. This is for the taxi. This is all I've got left for you."
Right?
And then you take a bus home. A bus is a lot cheaper than a taxi.
I've also heard like you can get usually if, as I said before, like if the quoted price is 100, then you should shoot for not a third of that, but even like half of that. You can get it for 50, not 75.
Yeah, I think the first price is always, you can always get a big reduction on that. But I remember the last time I went shopping in Thailand, I was buying stuff for my mum, and I'd left it really late, and it was pouring down with rain, and my mum wanted something some very specific, some silk trousers, and she wanted 10 pairs to give them away to her friends.
Uh-huh.
And I trawled around this big bazaar with hundreds of shops looking for this very specific product, and eventually I found it, and the shopkeeper only had half a dozen. I wanted more. And she said her price, and I just gave her the money. I wanted to get home as quickly as possible. So I got half a dozen ties on top of the trousers
Really?
because I hadn't bargained. She gave me something extra
Really?
just for not trying.
You are you going to Thailand over this break?
I'm going at Christmas, yeah.
Really? I'm wondering if I've got really big feet and I'm having a hard time getting shoes here. Do you know? I know you have big feet too. I'm wondering, is it possible to get big shoes in Thailand?
Yeah, they definitely have them. They make them there, and there's all these outlets.
And they're cheap too, right?
That's right.
I'm wondering if you could pick me up some when you're out there, like any kind of business shoes.
You want business shoes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just black business shoes. Any kind you find is fine.
Lace up?
Just like, yeah, lace ups are fine.
What?
And like a size 12 American.
You want one pair or two pairs?
Yeah, maybe two pairs is even better.
Sure. I'll see
Yeah.
what I can find.
I know a lot of things are cheaper in Thailand, but like electronics, are they cheaper in Thailand or cheaper in Japan?
That's a difficult question. I think electrical accessories are cheaper in Thailand. Do you know what I mean by that? I mean, the plugins, like if you want a computer mouse or programs or
Like a memory stick.
memory sticks, yeah.
Okay.
They're always cheaper
Cheaper in Thailand.
in Thailand.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I don't know, it's maybe about 30%, 20 or 30% less than you'd find it in Japan.
okay.
But things like computers and cameras, the shop price is about the same. If you want to get those cheaper, you're better off going in duty free. When you're going through the
You
airport
okay.
the first time, check out the stores, check out what they've got. They always have a very limited selection in duty free shops.
Uh-huh.
And then when you're on holiday, go onto the internet and find out about the products that you saw in the shops, so that when you're on your way home, you can pick it up at duty free, and that way you can make big savings, make good deals.
I see. So you just figure out what you want when you go to the shops, but then you buy it all at the airport.
The difficult thing is the airport shops don't have the full range.
Okay.
They only have the latest stuff and the best stuff. So, in a way, you're getting the top quality at a bargain price.
Right.
But you do need to do the research first.
Are you going to buy anything when you go back for holiday?
I've just done a lot of shopping. I think the holiday is going to take all my money out. But yeah, there's a few little things I need to get. Some hookups for my computer. Joel,
Uh-huh.
you speak Thai.
Yeah, a little bit.
Your wife speaks English.
Yeah, yeah.
So at home, what language do you use?
We usually speak English when we want to have real communication because her English is much better than my Thai. But I like to practice Thai a lot. So when I'm being a little more playful, when the topic isn't serious and we don't really need to communicate, then we'll speak in Thai and I get a chance to practice. And it's also fun for her to listen to me speak in Thai and to teach me. What's interesting is that it depends also on who we're around. So for example, if we're with my family and we want to say something in private, then we'll speak in Thai. But if we're with her family and we want to say something privately, then we'll speak in English so her family can't understand us.
Don't your family think that's quite rude?
Oh, they don't really know what we're talking about, so they can't be sure. It gets more complicated though because she also speaks Japanese and I speak Japanese, and so sometimes when we're with her brother who speaks English, we'll speak Japanese if we want to speak privately.
And then again, there's your little kid. What language does he speak?
Yeah, I try to speak English most of the time when I'm with him because I want to have him hear me as a model, because he lives in Thailand, so he's always hearing Thai, and I want him to have a chance to hear some English. But I find that since I'm around Thai people all the time that are speaking Thai to him, I start to get used to how they talk to him, and I start to kind of copy their examples. So sometimes it feels natural to me to speak Thai with him, but I try to speak English with him as much as I can.
And what do you eat in your family?
Oh, we eat Thai food all the time. Yeah, I like it much better than American food.
Is it because you like it, or is it because your wife is good at cooking it?
Well, I guess both. I mean, it's you can't really find much American food in Thailand, so it's much easier to get. And if you were going to go to a restaurant like Sizzler or something, then even though it's not so good, it's very expensive. So both. I like Thai food better, and it's just easier to get when you're there.
With the different languages, you can't really settle down together in front of the TV.
She usually likes to watch English programs, though. So, but it's hard for me to watch a Thai program. I usually I get bored very quickly because I can't understand much.
I don't know what to do for my next holiday. Have you ever tried rafting?
Um, yeah, actually, I was a camp counselor one time for this high school program, and we did a week-long rafting trip in Utah. I can't remember the name of the river, but there was about 20 kids, and we carried all of our food and camping equipment on the rafts. So we would all the students would help pack up everything onto the rafts. We would go down the river for about 3 or 4 hours a day. Then we would stop at a camp spot. We would have to take all of the food, all of the camping equipment off, and then the students would have different roles. So some students that day were in charge of cooking food, for example, and they had prepared a menu and all the ingredients for that day. Other students were in charge of setting up all of the campground, the tents. Other students were in charge of building the fire.
It sounds like the students are doing a lot of work. What did you do?
We're organizing, making sure they're all on their roles,
Organizing.
cracking the whip. um,
So you stayed in a different place each night?
yeah, so we were camping. We actually had to carry every supply that we needed for an entire week and carry it all on the rafts.
Did anything go wrong?
Yeah, it got very cold for a few days, and a couple of students actually, we went through rapids. So I don't know, do you call it the same in
Yeah, was that
British
exciting?
English? It's exciting, but it was a very cold day, and it's very rough. So a few students fell in, and
What happens when they
it's
fall
very
in?
it's very dangerous. Everyone wears a life vest, so yeah, I think they are all able to swim anyway, but you have to wear a life vest, and they teach you to try to face your feet downstream because there are many rocks and things like that. So
Oh,
if
so
you
you don't hit your...
That's right.
hit
If you're
yourself.
going head first, then you could, the water's moving quickly, so you could hit a rock or something. So you try to go feet first, and then everyone has a paddle, so we try to paddle the raft over to them as quickly as we can, pull them back in. But, we're still maybe an hour and a half from where we were camping. So being completely wet like that, you're so cold until we get back.
It sounds like an incredible holiday. Did anyone take a camera?
Oh, of course, yeah, there's tons of pictures on it. But what I find most about trips like that, like sometimes when you're so cold and everything like that, you feel terrible, you feel miserable, but it's such a group experience. Like you really get close to everyone, and you feel like you feel so much closer to everyone after you've gone through a challenging experience like that.
After you've had
And
to pull your friend out of the water.
that's right. That's right.